Hi, Dutch football fans across the world. We're back, Football-Oranje, to talk about Netherlands against Germany, another preview show for a Nations League game. Abdul, how are you? And it's only yesterday that the Netherlands played and we talked, but by popular demand, people wanted us back to another stream, another talk. So how have you been since?
Well, we're still happy. I watched the highlights of the match maybe two times, or three times, enjoying the goals again, enjoying even the chances we wasted. It was a nice evening, despite some mistakes the defense did.
Yeah. I mean, people can go and check out the live stream we did after the game on YouTube. This game is a preview. So this show is a preview for the game. It's available on YouTube and other podcast providers. But if you're checking us out on YouTube, you can see our faces, of course. So looking ahead to the Germany game, I think what people are thinking of and the comments we've had back on our live stream were like, what would we change for the Germany game? I think something that we know won't change, or maybe it will. We never know with Koeman. He said that Brobbey was going to be starting this game against Germany. So Xerxes, having had a good game with all the combination play, he's going to be sacrificed for Brian Brobbey to be given a chance. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I remember Koeman saying once, "Don't change a winning team." He said that in the Nations League 2019, when fans started asking, "Why don't you let this player take the place of that player and all that?" But he used this phrase. He said, "Do not change a winning team." Now he is changing a winning team, although it's only one match, but. We played very well in that match, so I don't know why he wants to make some changes. I think that the midfield, the front line, were doing just great. Some people might criticize Simmons, but I really think he did well in that match. Scoring a goal and having an assist, I think this is all you can ask for an attacker, creating spaces for his colleagues. So I don't know why he wants to make changes up front. Maybe because of the physical advantage that Broby has, over Xerxes. This is the only reason that comes to mind, actually.
How about the fact that these are glorified friendlies and it's just a chance again to give players an opportunity to impress? Xerxes took his opportunity, but is it not only fair to give Brobbey his own opportunity in this game?
I don't think I don't think he sees this as a friendly match. Neither the fans, it's an
Mm.
official competition. Winning or at least qualifying to the semifinal will give you a backdoor to qualify to the World Cup or to Euro. So it's a very important competition. I don't think it should be used as a friendly. But I think Koeman believes in Broby, and I think he also thinks the way I just said. He wants to put a strong attacker physically like Broby to be able to manage in that position against the German defenders, who are well known for their physical strength as well. So this could be the reason.
Okay, sure. So how about then the players that will be around Brobbey? Would you change any of those attackers, midfielders? You said that you don't want to change a winning team, but is there anybody else that you'd like to see in there be given a chance, given that we may see a change or two from Koeman?
And the front line, I really don't want to see any changes, unless of course he insists on playing with Broby. But I think Gakpo should play. Simmons should also play. The midfield definitely do not change anything about the
Mm.
midfield. I think the Reinders and Grafenberg proved themselves as starters. Schouten had a good game. Okay, he wasn't really the star of the match, but I think he did well in this game. The only thing that concerns me actually is the defense. Even the goalkeeper, of course, we
Yeah.
all agree, and Verbrochen, yeah. Except for the defense, I'm not really sure about the Ligt. Maybe because he just played yesterday, so maybe his confidence is still not very high. And I'm not sure about Dumfries. Should Timber play maybe instead of Dumfries, or Timber plays instead of De Ligt? I'm still thinking about that.
Yeah, that's one thing I did really want to get into this preview. Who plays in defence? Is it something that Koeman wants to change, or does he need to start looking at different options? Denzel Dumfries has been an undisputed starter for a long time. He hasn't really been shifted. I've always been there to back him and his selection. But is this now the time to start looking at different options? He's losing his place at Inter Milan. Virgil van Dijk, 33. Koeman wants fresh players in there. by the time the World Cup comes around, 35. So again, is that another position that Koeman has to look at different options in? Van Dijk maybe shouldn't always be starting now. I don't know. De Ligt made mistakes in that last game. Does he now come out, or should he stay to get some rhythm, consistency? And at left back, we all want to see Hartman play there really in the long term, but Ake's there and he's doing really well at club level. There are loads of questions. Van Hecker is someone that I think is a little bit slept on. We've got a lot of great defenders, but Jan Van Hecker at Brighton, he hasn't had any big clubs kind of have interest in him yet, but he has come a long way over the past year, 18 months. And I do look at him as someone defensively who's very sound, very, very good, and would do very well up against Füllkrug, the German striker. Albeit his range of passing isn't the best, but his basics are there. And why can't we give these guys an opportunity? I know you say it's a serious competition, but that's where I am with the defence. I want to see a couple of different players play to be given opportunities.
Well, Van Hecken doesn't really play for a big team, but he plays for a team that's very competitive. We've seen how Brighton has been lately, the past 2 years. He's in a very competitive team. They make very good results in the Premier League. So Van Hecken could start actually this match, but I don't think he will. I would say maybe Nathan Ake. Van Dijk, I would not replace Van Dijk. He's the only one who we could call a leader really in the team. The only one who's above 30, actually. All the players are young. We have a very young team. So I would keep Van Dijk. And plus, why would I replace him? He did not make any mistakes, in the match against Bosnia. So maybe Van Dijk.
Some people disagree with that, by the way. There are some people that disagree with you there on Van Dijk.
Well, yes, the match yesterday, because of the Ligt, when you have a defender with you who makes very amateur mistakes, that will make you shaky as well, no matter how hard you try. But I don't see Van Dijk did anything wrong yesterday, really. I saw the highlights. I did not see any mistake, anything that, tell me replace him with somebody else. But of course, it could be maybe Timber and Van Dijk in the defense. Dumfries, I'm not really sure, because I really want Timber to play instead of Dumfries. But that means we need to have another defender. Van Hecken, I wouldn't really start with him in a match against Germany. He has never played any big match for Oranje, so it's not a good idea, really. Yeah.
Okay, at that stage, maybe it's a little bit early to call upon Van Hecken. He's done really well in the Premier League, though. If you think about how he's gotten against Haaland, for example, for Man City, just small examples of what he's capable of. I think this is still a chance to see some different players, and Timber coming in would be one that I'd like to see. But I think in October we might well see Timber. It's more likely that he'll come into the team because he's not had many games yet for Arsenal.
Yeah, well, Timber now is a starter for Arsenal. I think he played the full match, the last 2 games at least for Arsenal. And of course, in October, hopefully we will have some players back from injury as well. Yeah. Let's not forget Van de Ven, Botman. I don't know if he's going to be ready by then, but at least Van de Ven. We do have so many defenders. And let's not forget Hato, of course, the Ajax star. He could play as a central defender or a left back as well. Yesterday I read for somebody who was telling me maybe Hato should be a left back and Nathan Ake with Van Dijk should be central defenders and Timber a right back. That's an option, but I'm not really sure what is the best on or how it's going to work in the defense. It's not the names, it's the way they defend.
Yeah, no, that is so true. It's the way that they can defend all together, isn't it? As a unit, can they do it all together?
Exactly.
We like to go with a back 3 sometimes, and then Dumfries pushes on. So you'd lose that if you take Dumfries out, and I don't think Timber does it quite as well as Dumfries. So it's about a balancing act there. I think unless you put in like a left wing back, like Martin or Hartman on the left side, could you replicate the same scenario and then have Timber on the right side? But at the minute, we're going with the way it is, aren't we? And then Dumfries selects himself, unless you put Frimpong in there. Another one people have been calling for Frimpong, but yeah, it's how we attack together, and I think he would work as that right back in that system. So yeah, let's see 1 or 2 more players, different people coming in for an opportunity. I'm looking at this Germany side then. The lineup that played against Hungary, Ter Stegen was a goalkeeper. We had Kimmich, Tah, Schlotterbeck, and Raum in defence. Schlotterbeck is a bit of a weak link in my view. How can we get on top of him? How can we get some difficult balls in behind him? Pascal Gross midfield with Andrich, and then Wirtz, Havertz, Musiala behind Fulkrug. Who there worries you, Abdul? This being a competitive game, of course, we want to see the Netherlands win this game because it will give us the best chance of finishing top of the group of the Nations League. All of that front four scored goals against Hungary in a 5-0 win. Clearly, the Netherlands and Germany will be going for those top 2 spots. Hungary and Bosnia will be the competition below us, but having beaten Bosnia yesterday, it's looking like this group has got a top 2 and a bottom 2 already. So how can we get past Germany?
Well, first of all, as you said, on paper, pretty much it's Holland and Germany. The group is done on paper. I saw also the highlights of Hungary. It's a very mediocre team. There is nothing special about Hungary. Same thing with Bosnia. I think we can beat them in the away match, maybe with a bigger result than 5-2. The same thing with Hungary. So it's going to be only first and second. Who's going to be first? Is it us or Germany? I think if we play the same way we played yesterday, how dynamic we were, how fast we were, and fixing the mistakes in the defense with the home advantage, of course, we could come with a good result. Maybe we can beat them, actually. Let's not forget that Germany is still in the building process, after the failure of 2022. They are still in the building process. I think on paper also, we have a very competitive and slightly better team than Germany. Again, if we defend right.
And that's it, isn't it? If all these things come together, we've got such a great team that's probably a bit more settled than Germany. I think quality-wise as well, yes, they've got some very good players, but I do think we have just that little bit of an edge on paper. But games never won on paper, and we both have different head coaches as well. So, in terms of prediction for this, I'm not feeling confident enough to say that the Netherlands will win. I think that if we keep developing the way we are, this up trajectory, I like the Bosnia game, but defensively wasn't sound enough. If that all changes and we get a 10 out of 10 performance, we're going to blow them off the park. But I don't see it. And I think I'm going to go for a draw. And I don't think it's the worst thing. But it does mean that away game in Germany could be all important if we're winning all the rest of our games, which we still have to do. But then it becomes more difficult later down the track.
Yeah, well, Germany is Germany. The weakest Germany is also a threatening team if you play them.
Always, yeah.
In our best level. The best Oranje could lose to the worst Germany. It's a big name. The rivalry between the two countries makes the match always difficult, no matter what the circumstances are. So I would always fear Germany. They are so good in coming back. They are so good in scoring and winning, even if they have a bad day. So we really have to be careful when it comes to this. I'm glad that we made a few mistakes yesterday. This maybe will make us more careful in the match against Germany. While they did not make, obviously, any mistake against Hungary, very easy win, clean sheet with 5 goals. So maybe we will learn from the mistakes and I'm hoping they make mistakes, the German team make mistakes in this match. But if we win tomorrow, as you say, we are pretty much 95% through as first or second, and maybe we can be 80% through as first, actually.
It'll be that important. So what is the score you're going to go for?
Wow, I was expecting yesterday to beat Bosnia 3-0. We won by 3-goal difference, but it was 5-2. Against Germany. To be honest, with the way I saw our defense yesterday, I think they will score, but I think we will score too. It might be surprising to say this. I would say 3-2 for Holland.
Another goal-rich game would be well worth our sort of time watching a Netherlands over the international break. That would be really good fun. So I just want to talk on a couple of things off the pitch, Abdul. Koeman did have some statements in the media. He was asked again about different players playing out in different countries. Memphis Depay has joined a club in Brazil. Thoughts on this move, Abdul, and thoughts on Koeman's comments when he was challenged on him signing for a club that wasn't in a big European league. And Koeman was basically like, I dare not say anything because I'll get the country on my back again.
To be honest, I did not like that statement from Koeman. If you think Memphis is very important for the team, you should explain that clearly. You don't really care what the fans say. That's number one. If you think he's not good enough for Oranje, if you think he should not play for Oranje, you can just say it clearly that you made a mistake in the Euro, as simple as this. But you're like, I'm not going to say anything because people will attack me. I mean, you are a coach. This is what coaches are for. They should take all the hits. But in general, to be honest with you, I am happy that Memphis Depay found a club first. Of course, we don't hate him. We want the best for him. He's a Dutch player after all, so we want him to find a good future for him. But I don't think this will be a step forward. This is actually a step back. I mean, after playing for Atletico Madrid, for big clubs in Europe, now he's playing in the Brazilian league. I don't think he has a chance to play for Oranje again, especially he's 30 years old now. With all the stars we are having for Oranje, Gakpo, Xerxes, Frimpong, Broby, Simmons, we have so many big names in the front line now. So it's very difficult for Memphis to find a place for himself.
I'm worried about Memphis is seeing this as a bit of like a lifestyle choice. Aside from it all, we know what he's like. And playing for a club that's in Sao Paulo, Corinthians, like, isn't that a bit of like a, let's see what Brazil's like, what the lifestyle's like, living in Sao Paulo? Are you worried about that?
Not really. I don't, to be honest with you, the way he thinks, the way he plays football, it's very difficult for him to continue playing 2-3 more years than now. Maybe he will retire by the age 33 or something. Memphis has some other parts of his life, not only football, when it comes to lifestyle, singing or rapping, as I always hear his songs and all that. So I don't think he will continue. It's funny that, a friend of mine said about yesterday, Memphis Depay was man of the match because he did not play. So it was it was funny, but yeah, to be honest, it was really a relief to see him not playing anymore. We wanted to give a chance to other players, and I think it worked. Scoring 5 goals, that says it all,
Yeah. I know the comments as well on the Ligt. So Koeman was asked about the 2 goals. He blamed the first one on Xavi Simons not tracking back, and the second one on De Ligt for basically not having good enough defending. The first one, he also blamed the defence as well as Simons. And then De Ligt was asked about the goals in an interview, and he said he didn't really know what was going on in his head, and that it is a mental thing for him at the minute.
Well, okay, the first goal could happen, actually. I've seen many mistakes like this, from big clubs, from big players. Yeah, where they just leave a player alone and he takes the ball and score. But the second goal was a very amateur mistake. I mean, if it was only for the first goal, it would have been okay with us. But the second goal was the problem. It was a very amateur mistake. So I don't really know. Maybe Koeman will not even let De Ligt play this match. Maybe the only substitution we will see is Timber for De Ligt. Maybe.
Yeah, that is the one I think. I can't see De Ligt coming in and playing this one again. I think that there'll be somebody else in that defence. And more likely than not, could be Jurgen Timber. But I don't know if Koeman sees him more as a fullback now because of him coming at left back and having played some games at right back as well for Arsenal, that kind of thing. Yeah, that flexibility, that versatility is what might attract him to being selected in future. But in terms of a regular centre back position, I'm not sure, unless it's a back 5.
Yep. Yes.
Well, Abdul, I think it's time to call it. So we've given you an extra preview, guys. So I hope you enjoyed it. Do give it a like if you enjoyed it, of course, on YouTube. Help that algorithm, of course, to put content up higher for people that are interested in Dutch football. And subscribe, of course, if you are new. It's been nice having some new ones over this international break again. If you're listening on a different podcast provider, you can always give us a review, a rating, if it's Apple Podcasts, for example, and anything else like that. But Abdul, anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I said that the match will end 3-2, but you did not say your prediction. What do you predict? What do you expect?
I said a draw, and as for the score, I think 1-1. I can't see it being. I'm just commentator's curse, right? But I can't see it being a goalless draw. I think this will have an entertainment value to it. But if it starts getting silly, I think it favours Germany more than the Netherlands. So
Oh,
yeah,
you favor Germany over the Netherlands
yeah,
to
I
win?
think Germany have got a bigger chance of winning this game,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Uh, but is there a reason you believe so?
I think at the Euros they played quite well. I know they were at home for those games, but they, on the whole, looked pretty good. And I think they are dangerous. They have got some again really good players on paper, and I guess it's going to be a battle of the coaches this one because it's quite level. And which coach is better, Nagelsmann or Koeman?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I hope you're wrong, though.
Oh, I know. I hope I'm wrong too. As usual,
Yeah.
everyone, we're back for a live stream after the game. You can check us out around about full time. Come onto YouTube and find our live stream. It will be there. And me and Abdul again. Mike's still away in America, if you're wondering where he is. And we'll be back very, very soon. But thanks for watching, and more from Football-Oranje in the future. See ya.